Hi, it's Tracy, and I'm here today with another dear friend, Anetta. Anetta has lost over 90 pounds over the past 3 years, and she is flourishing. But what's more important about her weight loss journey is that she's been able to maintain that loss. And today she's more healthier than she was before. So, Anetta, tell me about your story, about your success, and what has been the key elements to help you maintain and stay on track.
What a wonderful question, Tracy. Thanks for asking. One of the things I would say about my journey is that I started off not loving myself. And it really had me take a deep look at what is going on internally. What is it that is causing this disconnect with you and happiness or joy? And one of the things I looked at is that I didn't like the way I felt and I didn't like the way I looked when I saw myself in the mirror. And when I said that to myself, what can I do to change that? So, in reaching to my higher power, asking God for help, one of the things that He instructed me to do is to look inward. And when I did that, it caused me to take self evaluation and be honest with myself about how I was treating myself. A lot of times we put others before ourselves and
Mhm.
we still try to take care of others when we're not taking care of ourselves. And that's one of the things that really hit home for me. And when I did that in looking inward, I was able to see that look, there's some changes you got to do, girl. You, in order to get better, you have to have a different outlook on how you approach life. So in that,
Absolutely.
yeah, so in that, what I did was I said, hey, I wanted to look at what I can do to live a longer and a healthier life. I have four girls, and they're young ladies now, women, and I was like, I gotta show a better example for them.
Lead
Um,
by example, yes.
and that's what started the journey for me. One of the things I started doing differently is the affirmations that I was making to myself. I started telling myself that, hey, look, you're worth it. You should do this. It's important that you do it. And once I started affirming those things in my life, my set began to change. And once my mindset begins to change, I was able to tackle the hard part, which was self-discipline, disciplining myself to eat the right things, to exercise, and to be able to set the right examples for those who are coming behind me.
You've
So that
done an
started the journey.
amazing job. You've done an amazing. I am so. I almost don't want to say the word proud, but I am. You are just so beautiful. You always were beautiful, but now you are realizing your own beauty, and you are correct. There is so much power in affirmation, and so many times we don't affirm positively, and then we create our own self-fulfilling prophecy, and sometimes that's negative. We'll say, oh, I'll never do this, or this will be the death of me, or I'm just hanging in there. And those are things we should not say. We should say, I am beautiful. I do know my worth and I am worth it. And then you put those things into place. And so you've done that. So tell me a little bit about your current day to day maintenance plan. What do you do?
Well, one of the things I do on a day-to-day basis is first I do a self check-in. And I'm just honest with myself. I'm like, girl, how was yesterday? Because do we need to do better than we did yesterday? And it sounds simplistic, but it's so important that you do a self check every morning. And
Mm-hmm.
once I do that self check, I look to God for guidance. I say, God, help me to do better today, or help me to think about this differently today. A lot of people think it's all about getting out there and hitting the pavement and running hard and sweating. But if you don't check this first, check your mindset first, you're not going to be successful.
It
And the
does
other
begin with your
thing,
thought process. Yes.
the other thing I do on a daily basis that I'm very intentional about what I put in my body now. I used to eat for pleasure. Now
Mm-hmm.
I eat for food. for fuel. I eat because, hey, I got to have energy to do what was really important to me. And I used to live to eat. I thought eating was important to me. No, what's important to me is reaching my goals that I aspire to, doing something. I have to have the energy to do that. So what I put in my body is more important than anything else when it comes to being able to have the energy and the goal with that I need
Yeah.
to get through the day. And so what I've started doing is meal planning is so important. And I
Write
plan
it down first. That's right. And journal. And then to your point, self accountability is key and important as well. You have to be accountable to yourself and know your truth. And you mentioned the word mirror. Look in the mirror and embrace your truth. And so be human, because some days you may not get where you need to be, but it's okay. You brush yourself off, you jump right back on, and you keep at it. And self accountability is really where I think the opportunity lies for most of us. But you have done, as I mentioned, such an amazing job. So tell me, what are your next steps?
Well, I want to say one other quick thing, and I'll answer that question. I wanted to say that when I was talking about mindset, um,
Hmm.
the thing that changed with me is that my journey is not a diet or a workout plan.
That's right. You are
Like,
living it. It's a lifestyle change. You live it instead of diet. Yes. I highlight that in one of my ebooks as well. That you have, it's live it. It's not a diet. It is about behavior modification, and it does begin, as you mentioned, all up here. We have to get in there and embrace that truth, and then follow those steps and those actions. You've got it.
so my next steps to answer your question, my next step is to take everything that I've learned in this journey, in this transformation that I've gone through, and help others. One of the things that I've done recently is taking the tools that I've used on a daily basis, whether it's the how I eat mostly vegetables and protein and fruits. I eliminate starches and bad carbs from my diet. And I've taken that and I've shared it with the people that I love, the people that I interact with on a daily basis. Because
That's
what I
right.
want to do is get them to the place where they're independent of medication, independent of having to diet and a purge or whatever they've been doing to maintain or try to get healthy. I want to show them the right way to eat, the right way to approach this battle that we face daily, in making sure that we're living longer lives. And that is what my aspiration is to help others live a longer life. When I lost weight, before I lost weight, I was a diabetic. My I always say this wrong. I think it's the A1C. I get it all backwards. My A1C or A1. Don't quote me. You guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was out of the roof. I mean, I was at the point where they needed to like put an insulin pump on me. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to live like that. And because I had that desire to change, um, it inspired me to eat better. And that's one of the things that I want for others. I want them to get off the medication, to not be labeled by disease.
And
Um,
you can reverse disease if you change how you consume and how you um, energize your body. So
right.
you are correct. You're
So
correct. So the
that's
teacher, the student, I'm sorry, I'm saying it backwards. The student is now the teacher.
wow. And Tracy, I want to say you've helped me so much in my life. There's you were one of my first coaches that even before I made the decision to change my lifestyle, you encouraged me to be a better me, to start thinking selfishly, because I've always been a people pleaser. I want to do for everyone else. And you used to always ask me, what have you done for another today?
Right.
tell me one thing you've done for yourself today. And I'll be like, oh girl, I ain't got time for that. It's on my back. I got this, I got that. And you be like, stop. Tell me
Take
one thing that you've done for yourself. And you used to always say to me also, if you can't think of one, I want you to get up off of this phone, go do something for yourself and come back and tell me what you did. So I bow to you for that. Thank you so much for being that person in my life that held me accountable and made me look to myself. And you were my biggest cheerleader. Once that weight started coming off, my head was big. I was looking crazy. And you was like, don't worry about that. I was like, look how big my head looks. And you was like, that's temporary. Don't worry about it. So I really appreciate you. You are the ultimate life coach. And I look to you for guidance, even as I begin to help others. I'm so glad that we're connected.
Thank you. All I can say is I feel that I am a vessel. You did the work, you stuck with it. This is your success. I'm just glad to be along for the ride, and I'm grateful for you to allow me to share with you. I am so like stoked for you. I love watching your journey. I keep telling you now, it's not about weight loss. It's like you are turning the clock backwards. You're getting younger. You look younger and younger and younger year over year. And for those who don't know, you look like your daughter's sister instead of their mother. And they are, as you said, they are all women, grown women, and you look like their sister now. It's incredible to see. But also, that's the physical piece, but the mental and the spiritual is your light is so bright. It's just coming out of you. You now realize who you are, and it's awesome to see. So I am happy for you. I thank you so much for flourishing. I'm looking forward to watching the next step of your journey. And as you have been receiving now, you're giving. You are now going to grow other success stories, and I am just ecstatic.
I love you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you,
proud of you
Annetta.
and your journey.
May always, may all be well. Namaste.